Welcome to a new episode where we delve into the world of cannabis legalization, a topic that has stirred conversations across the globe. In the vast expanse of our interconnected world, the discourse around cannabis is as diverse as it is complex. Some, like business mogul Richard Branson, advocate for its legalization, citing benefits such as increased tax revenue, safer communities, and a healthier approach to drug use. On the other end of the spectrum, countries like Singapore maintain a resolute stance against cannabis, viewing stringent laws and severe punishments as necessary deterrents. This dichotomy presents a fascinating global perspective, highlighting the importance of understanding the nuances and implications of cannabis policies. As we navigate through this intriguing maze of differing viewpoints, one thing is clear: the conversation around cannabis legalization is not only relevant but also vital in today's world. It impacts public health, economic growth, and societal norms, making it a topic worthy of our attention and discussion. Today we take a closer look at the cannabis policies in the UK and Singapore, two nations with starkly different views on the subject. Firstly, we turn our gaze to the United Kingdom, where the winds of change seem to be blowing. Virgin boss Richard Branson, a heavyweight in the global business arena, has recently voiced his support for the legalization and regulation of cannabis in the UK. Branson's argument centers around the premise that legalizing cannabis would serve to dismantle the illicit market, reducing harm and making communities safer. Beyond the safety implications, Branson also highlights the economic potential of a regulated cannabis industry. He suggests that legalization could open the door to a new source of tax revenue. This revenue, he argues, could be directed towards public education, prevention campaigns, and mental health services, thereby benefiting society on multiple fronts. Looking at the figures, a report from mid-2022 estimated that the UK's cannabis industry could be worth over £1 billion by 2026. That's a substantial market just waiting to be tapped into. But it's not just Branson pushing for change. London's Mayor, Sadiq Khan, has also expressed his openness to the idea of legalising cannabis. Khan's stance further signals a progressive shift in the UK's approach to cannabis and its potential integration into legal and regulated frameworks. However, it's important to remember that while these influential figures may advocate for cannabis legalization, the ultimate decision lies in the hands of the Home Office. Their response to these calls for change will be the determining factor in the future of cannabis in the United Kingdom. Clearly, the idea of cannabis legalization is gaining momentum in the UK, but the final decision still rests with the Home Office. Now, let's shift our focus to Singapore, a nation known for its stringent drug laws. Consider the case of Thangaraju Suppiah, a Singaporean man who was executed for attempting to traffic cannabis. You heard it right. In Singapore, drug trafficking can lead to capital punishment. This execution, however, sparked an international outcry, with rights groups, activists, the European Union, and even the United Nations raising concerns about the severity of Singapore's drug laws. Let's delve a bit deeper. Singapore adopts a zero-tolerance stance on drugs, a policy that stands in stark contrast to the progressive approach we see in the United Kingdom. The government in Singapore believes that such strict laws and the use of capital punishment are necessary deterrents for drug traffickers. Their argument? It's all about ensuring public safety. Yet, this approach has drawn a lot of criticism from the international community. Take Richard Branson, for instance, the Virgin boss, who is a strong advocate for the legalization and regulation of cannabis. He, along with others, condemned the execution of Thangaraju Suppiah. They argue that treating drug use as a criminal issue rather than a public health concern can lead to more harm than good. The European Union and the United Nations have also voiced their disapproval, calling for a halt to executions and advocating for the abolition of capital punishment in Singapore. They believe that there are more effective and certainly more humane ways to address the issue of drug trafficking. But despite the global outcry, Singapore remains firm in its stance. The local Ministry of Home Affairs argues that the death penalty is effective in keeping Singapore safe. They insist that their approach to drug control is justified, even as the debate around cannabis legalization continues to evolve worldwide. Despite the global outcry, Singapore remains firm in its stance, maintaining that it is crucial for public safety. This comparison between the UK and Singapore underscores the global divide on cannabis legalization. We've journeyed through the contrasting perspectives from Richard Branson's call for the UK to embrace a regulated cannabis market, highlighting potential advantages such as public safety, consumer choice and tax revenue, to the stringent stance of Singapore, exemplified by the unfortunate case of Tanggaraju Supia. This dichotomy serves as a stark reminder of the varying attitudes towards cannabis across the globe. It emphasizes the need for continued dialogue and open-mindedness. These discussions aren't just about cannabis, they're about public health, justice, and the role of government in our lives. So let's keep the conversation going. The more we engage, the closer we get to understanding and perhaps finding common ground. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe and engage with our content to keep these crucial conversations going. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.